Welcome to The Interest. I'm Christine Stuart. Today, Bill Bodnar gives us the latest scoop on the economy with Master the Markets. Later, our own Vincent Valvo and Andrew Berman suit up for a cage match. Who will be the victor this time? But first, there's a larger question at hand. What will Florida's housing market look like in 2 years' time? Let's take a look. Fairway Independent Mortgage Branch Manager Marshall Smith does daily market research so he can keep clients and partners in good position.
I do think in 2024 we're going to see pretty welcoming pricing and rates environment, and I think activity is going to speed up quite a bit.
While nobody can say for sure exactly what Florida's housing market will look like in 2 years' time, it is possible to make an educated guess based on current conditions.
2024 is going to be a pretty active year, and 2025 with activity and people, getting off the sidelines and getting back into the housing market.
Interest rates started to trickle down at the start of this year. With inventory opening the market for home buyers, housing analysts in Florida are hesitant to assume anything, but they are hopeful for the future.
I do see a scenario, where rates, do drop in, fairly significantly in 2024, and I don't know if 90 days ago or 4 months ago we would have said the same thing.
Condotech president of Project Review, Orest Tomaselli, predicts that Florida's condominium market is going to see some big changes.
I think lots of new programs are going to be established over the next 2 years. Lots of non-warrantable lending is going to be established.
Since changes were made by the GSEs to their condo financing system, data on properties and loan eligibility status is becoming more transparent for lenders. Florida is now awash in building improvements and higher maintenance standards. Experts say these can only increase over the next few years.
I think that there's going to be an ease to do residential mortgage financing. We are in the middle of this right now. There's a lot of flux going on.
For more insights on market trends in Florida, visit nationalmortgageprofessional.com. For The Interest, I'm Christine Stuart.
We all dream of owning a home, but for too long, if you didn't fit the mold, you were stuck. Stuck because the system worked for everyone except you. We've changed that. Angel AI uses advanced AI technology to give a 100% trusted solution and fast answers for worry-free financing, allowing you to achieve fair and equal access to lending. Angel AI, AI you can bank on.
Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to our Master the Markets segment. So last week it was all about inflation. The Fed's favorite gauge, core personal consumption expenditure index, right? It's what a mouthful. That came in meeting expectations, 2.8% year over year. The Fed wants that at 2%. But that's in the rearview mirror now. This week it's all about jobs. And we have ADP, private payroll creations. We have JOLTS, which is how many help wanted signs are available. But the granddaddy of it all, jobs report on Friday. And if that number is hot, it's going to breathe more life into this, hey, Fed rate cuts are coming later and higher for longer is a narrative. And obviously the opposite is true. So we have all that to watch plus key technical levels. Something we're watching at Mortgage Market Guide. The 10-year note has not closed above 432 twice all year. It defended it all the last couple of weeks. Let's hope it continues. Have a great week and we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.
So Vince, I want to talk to you about your feelings about investing in DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Well, listen, this is suddenly a charged topic around the country, and I think it's ridiculous that it is one. I don't know how any business, I don't think any organization can realistically argue that jettisoning initiatives to bring in more voices, more culture, more people from across this great melting pot of the United States and reflecting what it needs for them to be in our industries is bad for business.
So take the other side. Why is it good for business?
Well, all of our businesses, I don't think we have any business that says, hey, you know what? We're only going to cater to this one segment of the audience. Nobody says we're only lending to black people. No one says we're only lending to Asian people. No one says we're only lending to white people. Frankly, that would be a terrible business decision because you're going to cut out, just as a straight business decision, you're going to cut out so many markets. So why would you want to do that?
Okay.
But if I'm going to try to lend into markets that are black, Hispanic, maybe female, I'm none of those. I'm not going to understand how those communities work as well as if I bring in people who do come from those communities and can say, you know what, there's a different culture here. There's a different. I remember at an Originator Connect conference a couple of years ago, Patty Arviello got up and she spoke about lending in the Hispanic community and how she grew her business because she went out and spoke to Hispanic borrowers that the traditional lending communities wouldn't talk to because they didn't understand how Hispanic communities will, families will come together and sort of jointly take on debt and will jointly pay each other's bills, how they work together on a lot of that. And she didn't build a great company because of it. So I think the notion, let's get rid of this, let's attack DEI is a terrible idea.
I agree. I'm with you on this 100%. I think there's been a lot of benefits that have come from focusing on DEI. And listen, some of the events that I've gone to that have focused on this topic have been some of the greatest events because people are there for some greater purpose. It's not just saying, hey, listen, how do we make a lot of money here? But how do we make a lot of money and do the right thing?
Right. Now, I will say, I want to take a devil's advocate stance on this for one moment, okay? Which is that I was talking to a fellow, his name's Sam Harris. He's out of the Tampa area, and he's a black originator. And he was talking about representation and how to grow as an originator in a minority community here. And he actually said to me, he said he doesn't support DEI initiatives.
Really?
Yeah, it was funny. And I said to him, why? How is it that you could say you don't support it? And he said, the reason he doesn't really support it sort of generically is because if you take a look, and I don't have the data to support this, I'm just going to say what he said back to me. He said when he looked at it, what he mostly found was companies who said, great, we have DEI initiatives, we're supporting women. And they fulfilled their quotas or they fulfilled their thought that they were doing this right by going and saying, here's a bunch of women, we're going to support that, and women need it. But they did it to the exclusion of everything else because they could see, maybe they could understand women better than other demographic communities. He said he doesn't see these DEI initiatives really playing across a demographic spectrum. They sort of take the easy way out. And that was his only point. He wasn't saying you shouldn't do it. He said you should do it better.
So do you think actually that is it a good business decision to do this without focusing on KPIs, without focusing on an actual return on investment and just saying, hey, this is something that feels good. While I might not have data to support this, but this is a worthy
I'm not going to advocate for that. I think, listen, everybody runs their business separately, right? And publicly traded businesses have different reasons and different benchmarks that they have to appease. They've got investors that want to see those key performance indicators being met. But if you're a individual business owner, maybe you want to do it because you just feel like it's the right thing to do. I mean, I believe that you ought to do it because it is the right thing to do. But I also think that, listen, any business person has to run their business in a way that is profitable. But I do think that DEI initiatives will eventually lead to more profitability if it leads to a better understanding of your audience and a better penetration of these markets that you may not otherwise get into. So that's my take in this cage match.
I think he's right. He's right. I'm going to let you take this one.
Thank you. I finally, I can declare victory. It's never happened before. Right.
You got this one.
For more on these and all of today's top stories, go to nationalmortgageprofessional.com.